been a really, really long time since I went live, and I needed to go within and listen to my family, myself, um, the clients I do have, and the people I'm working with to make sure that I'm not overdoing it and showing up as best I can. 3 years ago, when I started really fully believing in this dream, when I linked hands with Lauren in the coaching and Sharon to help guide with the oils, Sharon and Ariel, I had no idea how it was all going to work. At one point in time, I even thought that it was just going to be easy peasy, lemon squeezy, um, like any other time, the majority of the time, in jobs and stuff that I'd done. Well, there's something different when you're building a brand, a dream, and a vision. It's deep diving, it's acknowledging. And when I came home, it was 3 years ago, so Jazz was 8. I had a really big wake up call because I had spent the first 8 years of her life working, mainly working. We do have a ton of memories, and thankfully and gratefully, I did push myself through a lot of those times to be able to have those memories. Today proved why all of those memories that I thought we had to spend money on and all that and so many things when I went into this dream 3 years ago. What Jazz and Tim have taught me over the last 3 years, and thankfully all of our tribe, but the main four that have been able to help me through with the most love and grace directly has been Tam and Jazz and Leslie and Dee. And I'm thankful. And like I said, there is a lot more because we do grow and learn from each other. Some of us learn with hard heads and sometimes toxic masculinity. I choose today to have less of that in my life. And that's because with the two beautiful people that I have, how I used to show up, especially when I was pushing myself to the limit at all times, trying to do all the things for all the people everywhere all the time. And I brought that even after I left the job that I had blamed it on. I brought that with me. And these two had been happily living their happy lives without mommy. And, well, not without mommy fully, but I was on the phone and I was scary even over the phone sometimes because I had these like perfect things in my head of how everything had to happen. And I wanted to show them all the things that I had learned. Affirmations and taking the time to start switching, my thinking and my not good enoughs and the trainings. And they kind of looked at me like, are you crazy? I own that part of me today. And yeah, I am. It took a long way to understand and honor who I am today. And I accept every piece and part. The bad choices I made and the really good choices too. Because just like everything else, it's not all bad and it's not all good. I have been learning my own recovery for the last 31 years because each time I went into different places, it didn't always feel good. I love them, but it didn't always feel good. Something I learned from my mom, and it was a beautiful gift, and I hadn't realized until these two did it to me. When we can't help each other because one of us or all of us are stuck in our big emotions and big feelings and not able to communicate, we go shift our shiitake and come back when we can relate and when we can talk through. And some people, because what I was showing before, were only seeing some of the good parts that I was showing on live and all the things. And hopefully you can hear me because this is the first time I'm trying with this microphone. Today, because after 3 years, I can absolutely say that this has most definitely been the best and worst 3 years. Some of the hardest lessons and biggest blessings. And the most priceless gift of all was this morning when Jazz came out to talk in between classes. And for one, that's a huge gift. Since even being home, I didn't always take that time before. Mom's now doing a make that time. And today, see, when she was baby, because of my own inflammation and all that stuff, I couldn't give her all the hugs that I wanted to. For one, it hurt me. And for two, I didn't love me yet. I was given a dream come true, but I had no idea how to deal with it. So I am so thankful. It was a huge village that got us through all of those times because we wouldn't have made it. She's 11. And I've been trying to get her to give me a minute hug and allow a minute hug for 3 years because I saw her and I recognized her. And this morning, in between classes, because of a story they were working on, she was able to open up and tell me some of the things that I've heard along the way. And for the first time in 3 years, when I asked if she wanted and needed a hug, she said yes and accepted a 1-minute hug. She's a middle schooler. And those are tough years. And I know that me and my family, especially when I went into middle school and I was going through so many things by then, trust in so many things were broke by then. Today, made me realize how much it's so worth doing the inner work every single day for me. It is a process every single day to love me. If you knew how hard I judged myself, and some of my most loved people have judged me as well because of the decisions I made, and I can't blame them. I also blamed other people for those same or similar decisions. Keep doing the work. Keep walking through and having those hard conversations, putting up boundaries, and not allowing harm. Because also, excuse me, not COVID, chronic. Um, it's worth it to do the work and to honor and to know ourselves. It took Tam and I 15 years, over 15 years to get here. And walking through and pausing because we couldn't help each other at the moment. And in those moments, we were just going to harm each other. And thankfully and gratefully, we honor that. Have we fluffed up along the way? Have we messed up? Yeah. We own that stuff too. The original part of us was built on sand and not a foundation. So thankfully and gratefully, over a 10-year span, it was changed to a foundation. And it was never built on telling each other who to be. And any time that's gotten out of alignment, it's caused issues. And that's with all three of us. And we have three very opinionated and individual thinkers in our home. So what I'm saying is, I hope whatever you get out of this is love ourselves first. Drop the excuses like I used to have and like so many of us have. Find support groups. Find people that believe in you. Find people that can join hands with you and believe in you. I had so much toxic masculinity because I started fighting so early on in my life for my family, which is another reason that I believe in family, chosen and blood. And part of that is honoring the pause. Because if we're hurting and we're family and we come back when we're obligated and we're hurting, we're going to hurt each other. But when we can start to love ourselves more and more, and then come back and talk about all the beautiful things and the other stuff too, because the hard questions and the hard things need to be talked about more and more. That's your talking that's kept in secrets and skeletons and all that, and acting like everything's all right when it's not. That doesn't get us anywhere. Not what I'm finding. But it also means giving ourselves grace. I had to learn that. I didn't know that. These guys gave me that. Not I yelling back at me, but by placing me on pause and giving mom go shift your shiitake moments. The last 3 years have been such a big blessing and learning lesson, and it's been tough. way tough. And I'll talk about it more, but I don't want to take up too much of your guys' time. Time is precious. Every day really is a good day, and some are better than others. And I wish I knew the beautiful soul that said that to Tim. Because every day that we make and take a breath, we're worthy. And it's a gift. And we have a choice each day to use it as a gift with grace. Because there's days that it's okay to sit and be. And then there's days that we need to get up and shift some shiitake. And then there's days that we need to have hard conversations. A virtual hug or hug it out. Alone, sometimes we can be dangerous to ourselves. Sometimes, though, I found that when I was alone and I found my faith in angels and ancestors again, things began to shift. And I started believing in myself again. And all of our family. I always have. Sometimes I just haven't been good at communicating it. I'm learning. I'm not perfect. I knew how to do work systems. That's my best escape. It was my biggest addiction. I didn't know how to do relationships up until these guys took a chance. And today, she doesn't even know what a priceless gift that is. So that's enough for me today. I'm going to be back on more and more. And if you like it, cool. If not, that's cool too. Just find something that feels good to you. And learn how to love yourself more. Give grace to yourself. That's what helped me. That and gratitude and so many more things. And find help. It's okay to ask for help. I used to be that fear leader that told people how to be. I tried to tell these guys, and thankfully they loved me enough to go, Mom, I understand. I get it. I see that you mean it with love. But we ain't feeling it or hearing it with love. When I started loving on those two more, it's moved barriers that I didn't even think was possible. Believe in yourself and see what's possible.